Welcome to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. For those that might find themselves here for the first time, welcome and thank you for being here. We do have some channelings from the Galactic Federation of Light if you would like to enter into a lighter message today. Today's, it's okay. There is just a lot of information that I think is really important right now to bring forward, and I'm very pleased that Alistair is light to everyone for those that are in real time. But it's very tricky, the energies that we are sat in right now, everyone, and I think that you all can feel that. There has been a lot brought to my awareness over the past couple of days that has just been incredibly confusing and conflicting, and also I think we are coming to a time where energies are just incredibly disruptive, and they are trying to sway what is happening right now. So I think if you are feeling a little bit confused, if you are feeling a little bit distorted, please get out in nature as much as possible. Please make sure to be bathing yourself and drinking as much water as you can with the intention of, cleansing your physical vessel. I feel like we are having to face the darkest of the dark right now, and I truly do feel like this is only the beginning, everyone. And, I don't wish to bring information forward to scare, because we are all safe and supported, and everything is so divinely guided to one degree, but I also know that everything is amping up to a point where there is no going back where we find ourselves right now, and especially souls that are awake. We are truly fighting these forces, and you might not think that you are, but you are. And this is coming through time and time again with more one-on-ones that I'm doing, more one-on-one sessions. I can see that the parallels in people's lives, the things that you find or think are insignificant truly aren't in other spaces. There are parallel things happening within your life that you are breaking free from, everyone, I think is what I want to share. So please go easy, please be slow at this time as much as you can. There is a lot of confusion and distortion that is happening, and it's here to just confuse. So just be slow, be still, and I want to say try and take a step back before reacting to something. Try and remember who you are at a soul's level in your heart, and the energy that you feel towards someone at a heart's level before you just start stepping forward with energies that perhaps are quite filled with anger at this time. And I say this knowing that in my personal spaces some relationships are incredibly challenging, and we can't always respond in the highest of light. That is okay, but I think as long as we are making amends where we can, as long as we are making sure that we allow ourselves to truly understand that this is all growth on so many levels for so many at this time, and to not take things too personally. And I know that a lot of you out there are entwined in very personal, interconnected relationships, and that are incredibly difficult on so many levels. And remember that you are made of light, you are made of stardust, you are made of light, and so many beings are here to support you. So if those around you, do not have the capacities to support you, call to your teams of light. Whether you can hear them or not, they are with you, and I promise you they are right behind you, right by your side. I want to say right behind you, so that's interesting. But they are right by your side, and they have a hand in absolutely everything, everyone. There is not a day that goes by where you are not supported, where you are not held in divine light. So remember that and keep calling it in. And this is something that these beings are relying on at this time. They're relying on our faith to falter. And when I say faith, I mean faith in thyself. It doesn't have to be necessarily connected to any sort of religion. I would not consider myself to be a religious person. I would say that I'm spiritual, but I connect with religious icons, I guess, at this point, deities of sorts. And I feel that energy, and I bring in what I feel is relevant at that time. And sometimes beings just show up that energy, for me. And this doesn't come verbally a lot of the time. Sometimes I will see recognition of wings, so I know it's angels. Elephants is always Ganesh to me. And sometimes it will just be, I don't know, I can't think of any more examples, but just to let you know that your guides are with you. I know that we are always looking for that intense connection verbally, but I can promise you it is not safe right now for guides to be verbally speaking with us on a day-to-day basis. And my energies of my guides have shifted. They are using cues rather than verbs a lot of the time right now, everyone. And it is a very tricky time we find ourselves in. I am battling a lot energetically, so please bear with me, everyone. But I did have a little bit more time with Crow today, and I was very grateful for that. He seems lighter, which then in turn I think means I seem lighter, and I forget how connected I am with these beings that I bring forward. In the last 2 days I've been in absolute despair, and I just didn't understand exactly why, and there's been a lot of different levels and understandings of what has been happening. And yeah, I went to a space that was incredibly rife with history, and I was energetically transmuting a lot of energy in a real dense space, everyone. And perhaps a space that if I'd have known at the time, I might not have stepped foot in that area, because I wasn't quite aware of just how dark of a history this place had. And yeah, I have been in the mud with it, everyone. But everything is okay. I trust my teams. I trust that I was guided there for a reason. And, I did meet a lot of beings of light in that space too that have stepped forward as well. So there is always a light to the dark edge, everyone, I want to share. But just be aware and be very cautious right now before making any plans, agreeing to anything. And yeah, making big decisions for the future is what I want to share, everyone. But I'm going to read today's message from Crow, which was titled Forward. And he started straight in, as always. I know I may seem a little disparaged right now. This may surprise some, but not many. It's a difficult notion to understand that you haven't been in control of your life, and that every inch of what you are connecting into was not for your own soul's understanding. My frustration last week came in as soon as I understood myself to be of reptilian descent. My understanding of this world was warped. My understanding of myself masked in such a way for me to take control of other and allow myself to be taken over also. Lines are blurred and merged. I see many interacting with beings whom they think they are something else, and this is why I have stepped forward. My father was not whom he claimed to be, and this has been part of my growth. I longed for him for such a long time, only to understand that he be my captor truly, this whole paradigm. I was my father's son, I would be told time and time again. I was proud of that, yet I lacked the knowledge of whom he was at a soul's level. Do you see my father in the church and whom he really was? This is the merge of the light, the dark, the galactic. Those in control and power of darker forces are indeed entwined in reptilian blood. There is no trickery at play. So many souls have agreed to be exactly where they are. This is no fault of any. They are in pain. The only reason anyone would agree to let a darker force take over is because they are in pain. This is the trap, the trick, that life cannot be loving, cannot be enjoyable, cannot be full of love and life. Those on the path of expanse, look around. Whom has hurt you? Whom has tried to tear you down? They are in pain. They are suffering. It is only through your love that light can reach them. I see so many falling over and over and over again. It is up to you to show love, compassion, understanding, and show them that light exists. I know that me sharing such a notion may seem unfathomable, but I felt the light and I understood instantly. I was wrong. I was misguided. I was led astray, and I know now my heart, it was broken for a reason, so that I would become all that they wish me to be. So think about you, your life, your light. Even in the seemingly so dark, you never turned away, not once. That is all for today. I will be back tomorrow. I'm in better spirits, so to speak. Thank you all for your love. I felt so many of you send your heart and light to mine. Do you see the exchange? Love. That is all that there is. And I actually feel like Alistair wants to step forward, so I'm going to let him, everyone, to see what he wishes to share. I wasn't aware of this before sitting down, but yeah, I think he has some important information, so I'm going to let him in and see what wants to come through. There is so much I wish to share that I often get tongue-tied and stumbled when it comes to conversing. I truly do not know where to begin, and it is only of very recent understanding that I understood my father to be of reptilian descent, and in turn that means myself too. My life has been so much to many, and I'm deeply disturbed to see where it has led so many and where they find themselves right now in such pain. My words have been used, have been distorted, and me stepping forward means that they no longer have such a hold or a presence because they came from me, my soul, and my understanding. So me changing my energy means that this energy has changed through the entirety of your planet where you find yourself, and I'm grateful for this, but also it brings me such torment on so many levels that my pain, it caused so much pain and suffering for so many, and they're still in the grasp of this right now. I hope that my understandings and my teachings moving forward will release so many, because I know this will be lifetimes worth of energetic understanding and manipulation that we have to go through. There are timelines that are collapsing because I've stepped forward, and there are those that are getting increasingly darker because I have stepped forward, and so many of you are feeling it all. I am ashamed to some degree, and things are not moving as quickly as I would like them to. And I think this brings much pain. And I know I deserve to feel the pain. And there will be many that wish me pain. Still, I understand. But I want you to know that everything I do moving forward is for the highest of light, and my understanding of where I find myself now, I have changed, and I want there to only be compassion that comes from me moving forward. Compassion and my understanding. I think love might be too much of a stretch, but compassion and understanding. I hope that you can all forgive me, and I felt your compassion towards me, which helped pull me out of such darkness over the past few days. My understanding of my father being of reptilian descent really was not something that I had anticipated. I did not know of your worlds. Even when I was sent to the blackest of nights I want to share, I did not understand this galactic energy. And now I do. And I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tear the whole world down. I think I was trying to tear me down. And I guess that's all Alistair wishes to share today. And, you know, I've been watching a lot of videos on celebrities that, you know, have lost their lives. And it's really interesting to me because I worked for a music ticketing company for a time. And this was probably about, oh gosh, I don't know how many years ago now. Maybe 6 years ago now? No, less than that. Maybe 5 years ago by now. Or maybe not. Maybe more than that. I can't remember. But I worked there for a year, and it was really interesting to me because souls are brought to my attention, and I didn't know who they were, these artists, until I was having to refund customers because they had died. And I then started to listen to these artists' music, and I thought, wow, like these souls were incredibly talented, and my heart felt like it was bleeding for them. And now I've come full circle in my journey, and now I'm looking at the exact same artists and understanding that their life was not their own, and their life was taken from them. And just understanding that they were brought into my plane of existence so that I could feel love and compassion for them, and then that helped them shift their energy to where they were somewhere. And I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful to be able to feel into the energies of who they are now, their souls now, and to be conversing with them in such a way. But there's a lot that has to be worked through behind the scenes, when a soul passes over, that I just hadn't anticipated, everyone. And I will always share that all of this journey has felt like it had just happened to me. I'm not under the scholarly understandings and fully researched understandings of all of this. So when information comes through, it is half of the time it's for me for the first time too. And apologies in that somewhere, but I know that there's been a method to why that has to be the case. So I think that what I'm trying to say is that there are so many layers to everything that we just can't fathom. And some of you out there will be way more in the understanding of all of this than I even presently find myself. So share your knowledge, everyone, in whatever way that you can. I share what I have. I am merely a vessel at this point, and I try and bring as much information forward as I can to all of you. But I know that there is so much that I don't know, and there is so much that I'm yet to fully understand. And my viewpoint changes on a lot of things daily. The more that I read, the more that I research, and I have to trust my own intuition in that. And we jump timelines a lot, and there are so many understandings of beings out there that that is not what's presented to me, and I just have to go on my gut instinct. And I think that is what is coming forward, sorry, in a really roundabout way, is that you're going to have to trust your gut instincts on some things right now, everyone. And not what you are told by others, not what others are trying to steer you into, but trusting that what's best for you, and you have to move forward accordingly. And seek a second opinion. Please reach out to us Light Renegades, via email. If something has happened and you're like, I'm not sure about the energies around this right now, please do, and we will respond to you as soon as possible. I feel like we're having to team up at this time. This is a group effort, everyone. We are all souls that know each other by now. I know this to be the truth, and you all feel it. I feel each and every one of you here as like family at this point. So if something's happening and you feel like, I don't know about this, bring it forward. We can discuss it. And yeah, I think don't suffer in silence right now is what I want to share, everyone. And if things feel tricky, please just get out in nature and try and cleanse your body as much as you can, in whatever way that feels right for you. And there is no one way to do this journey, and I will be bringing more information of how I've got to my point in this journey and what happened to me, and things that I've gone through, so that others can perhaps look around and say, oh, actually I've been through something similar, or it's not been exactly the same, but it's something close to that. And that's why I bring this information forward. That's why as Light Renegades exist, is to be sharing our experiences and what we've gone through, so that you can take notes on things that you might have experienced that have been slightly similar or very similar. And that is where we find ourselves now. We're a community. We are growing together. We are helping each other, stand stronger every day. It took me such a long time to get out of my dream energy today, everyone. This is the longest time that it's taken me to pull myself back from any amount of darkness. And I thought, this is where we are right now. Things are incredibly dense. And Anna Maria and myself actually went into a space of energy healing with each other last night. And, it was very interesting to me how easy I tip back into dark energy, to the point where, Anna Maria would step forward and say, where did you just go? Because I lost you. In that connection that we had, she was like, I lost you. And it's such a familiar and comfortable feeling for me, that it feels like I'm just sinking to the bottom of the ocean. And imagine that feeling of weightlessness, and it just feels like a calming presence, when actually, it's not. It was taking me under. I was sinking to the bottom of the ocean. So remember that's come forward for someone. That's come forward for you to understand the energies that you are sat in right now. I feel like it was a cryptid message for some of you out there, but I'm still working through a lot energetically, everyone, so please bear with me. I will be back with Alistair Crow tomorrow. I know he has a lot to share, and yeah, I think he's just very frustrated because he's wanting to run at this and we can't. And, you know, I've been at this stage, I think, for most of my journey. I've been wanting to run, jump, and hurdle over at all of this. And, you know, I can't. I think that I'm turning a corner and things are getting lighter. And then, you know, I'm pivoted into even more spaces that I just didn't even know existed at this point, everyone. So please bear with me. I am here as much as I feel like I can be, and you know, if I'm not here, I'm sending you all so much light behind the scenes, and we are working, you know, as much as we can to be bringing all of this information to light. But it's not just us, there are so many of us out here. Don't forget that, everyone. And you know, I have to remind myself of that too, that there are so many working towards the same goal, and you know, we have already won. This is merely, I guess, playing backwards at this time. But that's all from me today, everyone, and from Crow, and I'll be back tomorrow. Take care.